up, everybody? Happy New Year. Welcome back to another Bear Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. Like always, before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to The Tape Never Lies. Make sure you go ahead and become a patron at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Big win on New Year's Eve for the Chicago Bears. Big response game from Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus, and pretty much the Chicago Bears as a whole. We've been giving them a lot of shit this year. I mean, deservedly so, right? We're all Bears fans. We're gonna go ahead and call it as we see it. And it hasn't always been great, especially the first half of the year. But you have to, and thus the title of this week's segment, give credit where credit is due, right? They came out there on Sunday. I was there at the game. It was awesome. The snow coming down. The energy was fantastic. It was just amazing. Like I felt like there was still a buzz about the Chicago Bears. Like there was still something worth fighting for. And I'm sitting there in the stands, and I got my brothers there. We got a couple buddies too, and we're enjoying ourselves. And I'm just like, man, if this is how it could look, it's in the Falcons being a top 10 defense, if we can operate like this consistently, we would have no issues. The problem is that you've seen the flaws of some of the decision making that this coaching staff has had. You've seen some of the poor execution that some of the players have had throughout this season, and it still draws questions. But for me, I feel like this win was different from that Washington win, because that Washington win, I thought it was going to be their jumping off point. This, I felt like, was it was a statement win for players and coaches alike. It was a team, not only, not saying that they're going against the fans, but I guarantee you that this game won a bunch of fans over. Now, is it fool's gold? Are we to believe that this is going to be consistent? Well, you have one more game to prove that coming up next week against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. And, we're going to get to the game predictions and talk in a minute. But first, let me go ahead and say what's up to you guys. I know I've been talking a little bit. Ray Rojas, bear down. Senpai guy, bear down, bro. Ant Dog, going to gang, baby, another Bear show. Let's roll. You're damn right. Jay, I gotta slow down, Jay, because I'm gonna fuck up your name. Jay Longaball, fuck the Packers. Bear the fuck down. Ivan, let's do this. You're damn right. Like every Tuesday, I love or Monday or Tuesday, whichever it is. I know we've been bouncing about, but every time I could jump on here, I'm just it gets me pumped up. I get the nerves going right before the show. But you guys have been such a great audience and a great bunch of followers. I appreciate you. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you guys in the chat, loving the show and chopping it up with me. So I appreciate it. Something nobody has talked about yet: trade Justin and the pick, signed Kirk O'Change. Yeah, nobody's talked about a Noah T, and I'm sure nobody will talk about that, and I will not talk about that. Past this point, we will not acknowledge that anymore. That would be, let's not. But thank you for joining, Noah T. What up, Bear Truth? Bear Truth 9. Man, it has been, hands down, what's up to you, bro? It has been just such an up and down year, right? And I was hoping that the Bears would be in this position, to be honest with you, early in the season. Like I was expecting them, a good start would be 6 wins, right? I know people were predicting 9, 10 wins. That's not, to me, it wasn't realistic because I knew there was going to be hiccups. I didn't know there was going to be historical collapses in the fourth quarter, but I knew there was going to be hiccups along the way. The thing is that you can't, it was a weird place to navigate because I never thought that the Bears were going to drop games that were winnable late in the season after that first Detroit game. But then they go ahead after the first Detroit game, but then they went ahead and did it against Cleveland. And you're sitting here like, what in the world is the issue here? Is it offense? Is it defense? Is it, what the hell is it? To me personally, I feel like offensively, it, it's more of an offensive issue than it is any other part of the team. Simply because your defense is able to stop teams. And we could talk about the quality of a football team, but winning an NFL game is probably is one of the hardest things to do. Like I'm sure any of these players out there is saying, "Hey, none of these fucking games are a cakewalk." Even though I think some wins, like if you're looking at it and you're looking at the quality of a team, some wins you could qualify as, "Hey, this should be a dominant win." Okay, we could say easy, but it should be a dominant win. I feel like the Bears in this one took it a step further. I think that they were able to find the best parts of the offense and defense and execute exactly. But you can't tell me that there isn't a question about how they're making these decisions down the stretch, especially with losses like that, Cleveland, Detroit, Denver. But going back to the feeling of this game, it seemed like they were just in sync, all phases. Justin, he was on fire, electric the entire game. First drive was coming down. We were in the south end zone. I think row 19. We were all the way at the top, which was fine because we had the beer right there in the bathrooms. And trust me, going to the bathrooms at Soldier Field, it reminds me of old Wrigley. Horrid. Like you better get up quickly and go if you see no line, because in the blink of an eye, you're swamped and there's a line all the way down the all the way down the aisle. But anyway, it was very, very Mache, he seemed like he was about of his business on Sunday. Like there was a purpose to his game on Sunday that, to be honest with you, I was happy to see. I was happy to see some maybe pent up frustration that he was able to exude out on the football field. I was happy that he was celebrating. Now, when it comes to when it comes to anybody criticizing Justin, it just, like I pointed out before, you have to be able to separate your fandom from reality. You have to be able to criticize. You have to be able to point out a leak when there's a leak. Because if you don't and you continue to let it slide, it doesn't help anybody. It ends up sinking the boat. But regardless of that, I feel like he was able to answer criticism from not only myself, but all the Justin haters, all the Justin naysayers, all the Justin, I'll say all the Justin Glazers, right? And there are people who are taking it well overboard. Like you can't criticize the man. You can't say anything about his game. You have to, because the guy, he should be playing like this next week. I should see a fire in Justin next week. I want to see angry Justin playing next week, because I feel like he needs to end this season giving the Chicago Bears, and I mentioned this before, the toughest decision that they've ever had to make as a franchise. Whether they go ahead and stick with this guy who's won the locker room, who's a great leader, whose work ethic is at top tier, who clearly wants to be here, but is humble enough to understand that, hey, it's a business and I might not have tomorrow. It's a tough decision that I want Justin to make them have to make. And for me, if he goes out there, and I want to see nothing but the best game of Justin Fields' career, to be honest with you, make it hard on all of us. Make it difficult. There should be this type of back and forth talk, because we need to get it right as a franchise. Period. Whether it's Justin, whether it's somebody else, they need to be able to get this right. For me, Justin can't revert and can't have have round eyes. When he goes into Green Bay, he needs to be focused. He needs to be hung. There needs to be a emphasis on sticking with the game plan that they had on Sunday, because that was excellent in my opinion. There needs to be that from Justin Fields. I was very happy. It was so enjoyable watching them play on Sunday. The execution on offense was great. It was good. It was what you wanted. The play calling, there wasn't terrible. There was some here and there. Obviously, this screen game, this obsession with the screen game, whatever. It frustrates me a lot in certain situations, but it's a part of what what they are, I guess. I'd like to keep that. If they could keep that type of play calling and they can execute the way they did in the run game, I'd like this. I like this. To me, it still begs a question on, can you operate that way with somebody else, you know, other than Luke Getzey, just because we've seen too many times where this offense just it looks to you're questioning his decision making, you're questioning the players' execution and understanding of what their role is during plays. There's just a lot of questions around Getzey. I feel like Eberflus has been answering his call a lot lately on defense. Got a Grumpy Bear in the chat. What's up, bro? Thank you for the donation. The Bears are going to have to do what the Cubs did: fire Flus and hire Harbaugh, draft JJ McCarthy, light a fire on Fields' ass if they keep Fields. I don't mind having another quarterback in the mix. That's something that I do not mind. I've mentioned on here before. I think somebody needs to be challenging Justin a little bit, whether that's coach or whether that's a player. You know, the Bears haven't had a lot of quarterback talent, quality quarterback talent on the roster in quite a long time. I mean, when was the last time they would have, or let's say they draft a quarterback in the third round? Let's say they draft JJ McCarthy. I don't think JJ McCarthy is going in the first. Maybe it's a late second, early third for McCarthy. Maybe what if they go somewhere around there if they have it, or if they draft down? Maybe and we're talking about just hypotheticals. I don't know what the hell's going to happen on the draft, but I wouldn't mind having a young quarterback to push Justin Fields if he's going to stay there. If it's not the number one pick, if it's a number one pick, I don't think you can justify keeping Justin around with him wanting to be the guy. Obviously, the number one pick, I think, is going to be Caleb Williams, whoever it is. But you can't justify keeping them both. They're both going to want to go right now. Justin's going to want to continue to hold his reign as the leader, as the quarterback, and Caleb will want to take over that immediately. So I would have to be a quarterback in the later rounds. Whoever that is, I don't mind drafting another guy. Tyson Bagent, keeping him around. Obviously, a young guy, he can continue to grow. But getting some younger quarterbacks in the building, I do not mind. Let's go ahead and hedge our bets here. It doesn't have to necessarily be with Caleb Williams, but if you're going to go ahead and be consistent with what you said, let's go ahead and bring some more talent at the quarterback position, just in case Justin's been hurt, because Justin has been hurt. I mean, look at this earlier this season. Tyson Bagent in for Justin because of injury. I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Now, whether they go ahead and fire Eberflus and hire Harbaugh, that's a little tougher than going ahead and drafting a younger guy and bringing him in to kind of pace Justin. I don't think Eberflus is going to be going anywhere. I'm a Harbaugh guy. It's just what I've seen with this defense and how the players have responded to him. The players continue to beat that drum. The defense continues to get better. I just feel like if you can add more quality on offense, I think Luke Getzey might be the guy, the scapegoat in all this. You bring in another playmaker or a play caller. We can see what the Bears got next year. I really think that the Bears could challenge for a playoff spot next year and be a playoff team. Bring in more talent. You have enough money to go ahead and bring in more free agents. There's pass rushers available out there in free agency. There's young guys. in the draft that you could bring in to be playmakers on your football team right here, right now, and see what number 3 does. See what year 3 is compared to a broken year 1, a year 2 which was full of promise but ended up being a stepping stone or a learning curve. I feel like all that is true if they beat the Green Bay Packers this Sunday. If the Packers come out there and they beat the shit out of the Bears, there's just you can't hide behind it. But I feel like I think that they've done enough in these in the front office's eyes as I'm watching Tyler Allgeier's touchdown run again. I think they've done enough, but they need to go out there this Sunday and they really need to put an ass whooping to the Green Bay Packers. Make it a statement. We talked about finishing throughout this year. You haven't finished in 3 games, 3 big games that would have put you in the playoffs. Well, finish the season now and kick the fucking Packers ass out of the playoffs. You have to seize this moment. I don't think there's a bigger spot for Matt Eberflus than right now, Justin Fields, and right now coming up this week against Green Bay. They have what you want. You can't get it. So don't let them fucking have it. That has to be the motto. And I know Eberflus plays things close to the chest, but that has to be the mentality of the players going into this, no doubt. If you want people to start believing in you, go ahead and put their asses to bed. Put them on the couch. Now there was breaking news. Courtney Cronin, I guess, broke some news earlier telling us that the Matt Eberflus hire, the final say on the hire, came from Ted and George McCaskey. Ted Phillips, and George McCaskey. Now, as much as it makes me, leaves a bitter taste in my mouth hearing Ted Phillips, at this point, I don't think it has anything to fucking do with where the Bears are heading. They have a quality roster. They have a team that's starting to believe a little bit more. I don't think you could go ahead and justify firing Matt Eberflus because of the lack of offensive performance. Because it comes down to that. He's gotten the defense where it needs to be. You've seen time and time again where the offense is. It's going to fall on Luke Getsy. The hammer's going to fall on Luke Getsy being the one to go if there's going to be any type of change, which I think there should. No matter what, there should be a shuffle because you shouldn't keep these guys too comfortable. We were very, complacent in making any type of decisions in season. But if it isn't good enough and they go ahead and they don't perform against the Green Bay Packers offensively, well, I think that you're going to have to make a move somewhere. And I think Luke Getsy is the guy that's going to that would be the guy that gets the axe. I think Justin's just a leader in the locker room. You don't want to break that up. And I think Matt Eberflus has done enough to justify keeping his job with the Chicago Bears. It sucks because I want there to be this storybook Jim Harbaugh ending, but the way that they've spoken about him, and I mentioned before, the way that they've gave him every opportunity and continue to give him every opportunity, they want him to succeed. They want him to be the guy, and they're going to, at all costs, give him that opportunity. So he'll play through his contract. I think Eberflus is going to be here through his contract. Hopefully next year you don't have the same type of fucking issues, because then I think you would see the first in-season firing from the Bears. But as of right now, the Bears have progressed as a defense. They need to continue to run the football and go through Justin when it comes to offense. But moving on from Matt Eberflus, as of right now, doesn't seem to be the Chicago Bears thought process. It's just me. Just me. Heard Poles will be at the championship game. Well, whatever. We'll see where he's at. I mean, scout free agents, motherfucker. I don't care what he's doing. Just make sure you're looking for players to add to this team come next year. Gives the front office the conviction to make his decision. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that you we need to go ahead and pick sides when it's what he's done, right? If you execute on offense, some of those games wouldn't be as difficult to win. If you were able to score points in some of those more points in some of those halves, your defense wouldn't have to go ahead and try to bail you out time and time again. That's part of it, right? So if you want to go ahead and point it down to somebody needs to go ahead and take the axe, I think Justin Fields has done enough to prove that he can make plays and be successful. But I think Luke Getsy has left it up to question on whether he can call plays that are beneficial to his team, to the team that he has on his roster. Because early in the season, it just seemed like they weren't doing the same type of things that they were doing now. And I still don't like that they're in certain formations at certain times, but the execution has gotten better as of late. But I still think you need to have somebody answer for something, and I think it'll be Luke Getsy. A lot of fuck Green Bay in the chat, so I'm liking that. Fuck Green Bay. I'm trying to find something. All right, here we go. Bill Polian and Ernie Accorsi better have zero to do with any coaching hires from now on. Those fossils are clueless. Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, whoever the next coach is going to be, it's going to be Kevin Warren. And if Ryan Poles is around, Ryan Poles making that decision. Like I mentioned before, it's kind of a bitter taste in your mouth that Ted Phillips was involved any way, shape, or form in hiring Eberflus. But for me, it's not his fault he got fucking hired for the job. He just needs to be able to go ahead and execute his plan on Sundays. As soon as he took over that defense, it was working. As soon as it started to get better, they still struggled with the pass rush, and then they got Montez, and then things started really fucking clicking. So, you can't say that he hasn't done anything or he's okay. No, there's multiple phases to the game. I think the phase that he took control of is the one that we're gonna, really lean on even into next year, even into early next year. But we're gonna really trust and believe in to get this thing going. I think Matt Eberflus defensively is solid. Now, can he handle the entire circus? That's a question that I don't know. That's a question I don't know, but I don't think he needs to go ahead and handle the entire circus. He needs to stay his ass away from the offensive room. Just be a guy, be in control of the defense. Handle what you want to handle. As far as personnel are concerned, but don't let the offense overwhelm you from doing the job that you're most successful at. That's just what I'm saying. That's it. How don't that make sense, Jake? Let me know. Gun, gun, gun. It's not. It's. I feel like there's change, man. I really do. I feel like there's change, but if you're going to need somebody to answer for three historic losses, and you're going to need somebody to answer for the 0-4 start. That's got to be Luke Getsy. Hands down. I just don't have faith the front office would hire Harbaugh, especially knowing his personality. McCaskey won't allow it. That's another part of it. And, I hate that part of it. I really do. But you got to think about who's in charge and who's running the show. You got Kevin Warren up there. He's just getting his feet wet. Everybody's saying, "Oh, he's just there for, the stadium," which I don't believe he is. I think he's really taking this job seriously on both ends. Obviously, getting a team that's of quality and deserving of a new stadium should be number one. So with all the hiccups going around with the issues with where the stadium will go, I think he is starting to turn his focus on let's build the team first. And and I hate to sound sappy, but if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come, and that's something that I talked about a while ago. Like, hey, in regards of the stadium, is hey, maybe you should focus on building your damn team and a little less worried about where we're headed in 10, 15 years. That's something that I truly believe should be the point of emphasis. Start with your team, then focus on everything else. Exactly. Can't put garbage in a new house. What's up, Coach Dre? It's exactly it. You build this awesome facility and you don't have a quality product on the field. I don't want to make a drive to or take the train or whatever I have to do to Arlington Heights or wherever the hell they want if the team isn't there. If the team isn't where you need it to be to go ahead and make the jump into, the Coliseum that you're trying to build, the jewel of the Midwest that I'm sure that they're trying to build, wherever they put it. Let's go ahead and get into some interviews. We'll get into the first one's going to be Matt Eberflus talking about the win on Sunday. This will be the post game. Matt Eberflus. We also got Justin Fields, the locker room post game, and then we'll end the interviews with Matt Eberflus yesterday. So let's get started. Here's Matt Eberflus post game on the win.
All right. Good afternoon to all. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm coming up here shortly, but overall, the game, I was just in with the locker room with the fellows in there, and certainly all excited that we played really good complementary football. We obviously have your adversities during a football game, and the way you handle those is by just keep executing, and keep doing a good job of hanging together. And I thought the guys did a nice job of that for the most part. Early part of the game, defense gives up some bigger plays that we hadn't given up. Credit to the Falcons. They did a nice job, but our defense held serve. They're into the field goal range. They ended up missing a couple field goals, and it was good. But offense came out, did a really nice job in the first half. I really love the way we were feeding DJ in the first half. That was really good. And we had some explosives, not only in the first half, but the entire day. And we were aggressive. We had aggressive mindset during this course of this game. We knew we were playing a good football team, and we certainly needed to be in that mode, so to speak. But with overall though, I really appreciate the guys in there, the way they've been battling, the way they've been fighting. To go 5-0.
I appreciate you, Jake. I saw your message before. I appreciate the donation.
On the radio
You're all
show.
good.
And
But
they
yeah,
did a
I
fantastic
mean, I was just
I know we
trying
started
to
out
look
rough
for
this year, at 0-3 at home,
a
but
chat,
we
and that was
battled
just
back to
the
make it
first question I
5-0,
got.
which is a credit to the fans. They really help us out and the players in that locker room. So a really good job in terms of that. Some of the guys that were highlighted today, certainly, you look at what Justin did. Justin had some really good pass numbers there. He had a couple touchdowns. The 0 turnovers was awesome. He had the sacks. But we certainly can clean those up. But he also had some really good escapes. That created some first downs for us. That was really good. Obviously Herbert, was 18 carries for 124, 6'9" average, getting more physical, working downhill. I thought he made some really nice cuts today, which was really good. And then the defense, the defense did a really good job with the 4 turnovers to close those games out. That's what we talk about in the fourth quarter. The first thing in the fourth quarter is the ball. We got to protect it on offense, and we got to do a great job on defense taking it away. We did that. And then the 3rd and 4th down stops, or the 3rd and 4th down conversions that you got to make to finish out the game.
What up, Jason?
And then getting some explosives. You have to do that in the fourth quarter as well, and then limit those explosives on defense. And then really be good at situational ball at the end to finish the thing out the right way. We did that at the end. We did what we needed to do. It wasn't perfect, but we did what we needed to do to finish the game. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
An incredibly excited vibe in that locker room right now. Almost
Real quick, Sean, I think it was honestly, I feel Flus's play calling was there. They just weren't getting home, right? So adding Montez Sweat obviously helped Flus out because he had somebody that could actually put pressure on the guy, on the quarterback. But I feel like his play calling was better once he took over. The play calling on defense, the way that the players were playing, it all looked better once he took over. It's just that next step was getting somebody to put pressure and change the game on the line, and that was Montez Sweat.
understanding big picture wise, the guy's very optimistic about where this is headed. How would you describe the direction that this group is on?
Yeah, I think when you go through adversity, when you go through hard, it's it battle tested you. It makes you feel more appreciative of what you're doing right now.
Just keep it in the house, Keith.
If it was all easy, it'd be like, oh, no big deal. We're supposed to do this, and we know how hard it is to win in the NFL. And our guys completely understand that. And I credit the guys that have been here for the 2 years. Some guys came in for this 1 year, but the guys that have been around are the rookies that we signed that first year. That believed that, hey, we're going to get this thing done, and we're going to turn this thing into the right way. Just again, I know it's a couple wins and all that, but I'm just saying, like, just to get that vibe in there of, hey, we can do this. That was certainly exciting for the players in there.
You mentioned Justin's escapability, especially on that 3rd and 8 play where he turned into 13 yards. He did that last year, but maybe it wasn't paired with the passing yardage like he had today. Just how different is he as a weapon when he can do that and throw for 260 something or whatever?
Yeah, that's what we've been searching for, right? We've been searching for that. We've been talking and working on that during the course of the week, and he's starting to do that. So he has the ability to escape the pocket when it breaks down on those critical situations, the 3rd down, 2 minute, those types of situations. We certainly want him to throw the ball on time all the time on 1st and 2nd down. But there's some times when you're creating, because it's the critical down, we need to get that down. He will create. And before it was mostly with his legs, but now you're starting to see him work out of the pocket and look downfield and make some big strikes. And the last couple of weeks are a great example of that. So that's how you gut a defense. And that's what makes it really hard when you got a scrambling guy like that can move around. And he's very accurate, on the deep passes too.
Yeah, Jaron, Ivan, are you keeping JF1 and trading the top pick to build, or trading Fields and drafting his replacement? Well, that's just the thing that's just the question, right, Jaron? For me, my best case scenario is Justin Fields goes and fucking kicks Green Bay's ass this week, makes it the hardest decision that they have to make. They keep Justin Fields. We trade the pick. We gather more picks, and we continue to build this football team with quality depth and more playmakers. Like that's where I want to be. Justin in year 4, everybody's like, oh, it's been year 4. It's been year 4. It's like, it's been year 4, but Justin hasn't regressed. It just seems like there's been times where he struggles to stay consistent, and whether it be, from him or whether it be because the offensive line is whatever it is, I feel like Justin Fields has enough playmaking ability in him that you can win with him if you put more talent around. He's if you watch him last Sunday against a top 10 defense in Atlanta, you're looking at the best case scenario. I feel like Justin Fields able to get to from 150 to 300 yards. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be 300 and a 375 yard a game type of guy. He's running. He's already a playmaker. Allow him to progress as a passer. He's only in year 4. Get him more playmakers. You saw what he had to deal with in year 1, that shit show. You saw what he had to deal with Matt Nagy. You saw what he had to deal with in year 2 with with Eberflus, but you know what that team was doing. There's excuses and then there's reality, and I think that Justin was done a disservice his first 2 seasons. Now this season, you're watching his progression in real time. You're seeing what he can really do, but you need to be able to see the consistency not only from his play caller, but from him as well. He could do anything anybody else can do on the football field. But there's too many questions surrounding too many spots on the Bears for me to be like, you know what? It's all on him. He's not the guy. So for me, best case scenario, trade that shit, collect more picks, keep building up on the defense, add to the offensive line, add to the stable of wide receivers, get more playmakers, and let's see what year 3 under Eberflus can do. I'm not a fan of Luke Getsy. Like I said, there's got to be a scapegoat, and I feel like he's it. Too many times with this offense is just, who are you? What we saw on Sunday, where you have 18 rushes from Khalil Herbert, you have 7 rushes from Roschon Johnson, you got 11 rushes from Justin Fields. I'm okay with that. I don't want to see 18, 20 rushes from Justin Fields, but I mentioned before, 7 to 10 rushes, I'm okay with. A lot of those are improvising, broken down, getting outside the pocket. Hey, I see a lane. I'm going to go ahead and take these yards. A lot of that is what it is. Some of it, a lot less, has been by design, which I like. But if you're gonna have an identity and use this running attack as that identity and make sure it starts with Justin Fields, right? It starts with Justin Fields being smart at what he does. I think you can really do some damage come next year. Add another playmaker. Add some more offensive depth on the line. And let's see. It's already decided Flus and Fields are staying. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to fire Flus, right? Like, it doesn't make sense in my mind to fire him, even though he's not my favorite. But as of right now, what he's done is pretty good. You've gotten the defensive work. You've gotten your playmakers to respond to you. Or not your playmakers, but you got your players to respond to you on defense. What you're teaching is working. You've gotten your front office to find you a guy to get home for you. Like, I feel like that was when the defense started to get rolling, and then they got Montez Sweat. I think that's what really sealed it. You started to see the influence Montez had. Then you started to see the turnovers. The big plays, the sacks started coming. I still feel like Eberflus was part of that. Was like, hey man, like we're right there, but we need pressure on the quarterback. it goes hand in hand. I think he is deserving of one more year with how the defense has been built. And I'll say it again. And that's just it, man. Fields as well. If Fields goes out here and beats the Green Bay Packers, doesn't have any turnovers, continues to have success with both the play action and with his legs. I mean, it's pretty much all she wrote at that point. I think Fields right now has a little bit more work to do than Eberflus, but a big game against Green Bay can solve that. There's going to be everybody and their mama barking and yapping and talking about this, my pick, Justin, Caleb, Eberflus, Harbaugh. But you have to stick with what is real. I feel like they've already said enough for us to know that they're going to stick with Matt Eberflus. I mentioned before, probably throughout the duration of his contract. They're going to give him the contract to prove himself, just like they did Matt Nagy, because that's just who they are. But I feel like if you were going to make if you were truly about wanting to win, if this were a dumpster fire come the middle of the season next year, I would really hope they would really get off their ass and make that decision to move on from a head coach in the year. But in the here and now, in reality, the guy hasn't done anything but build his defense. I guess given his input on offense, which doesn't really help, in my opinion. I mean, some maybe a little bit. But he's gotten you a unit that can really help you win ball games, and have kept you in ball games for the most part this season. It's all about the offense and how they can be trusted.
When you look at this game, you see the passing, rushing, you see the defense, you see you guys hold the lead. Does this check every box for you? Is this everything you want to see in a game?
Yeah, I would say no. It's never checks every box. There's a lot of mistakes out there that we need to improve on. I'm going to look at this game like every other game. Go back and watch it tonight, and go back at early in the morning in the office and watch it again. And then I'll meet with Getsy. We'll watch it together. Then I'll meet with the defense and watch it. And then we'll watch it with Hightower. So I'll watch it a few times, and we'll clean and wash it like we do any game. There's a lot of things that we can improve on, but there's a lot of good things we want to build upon. And it's always the yin and the yang with that, right? So once this game's in the books and it's 17-37, right? That's where it is. This is what this game was. That's what it is. So we can't change that. But what can we learn? From that performance. And that's the biggest thing. And I think that's really having that mindset is the mindset of growth. And that's how you keep getting better, not only as a football team, but an individual player. We'll look at those guys' individual techniques and fundamentals, and we'll continue to do that every single practice this week. And we'll have a plan for each guy. And the fundamentals win games. The footwork, the eyes, the hands, those are the things that win football games, because that's how you execute during the football play. And that's what we're going to end up doing this week, like we have done all the way through.
What went into the decision to kick a 55-yarder into the wind as opposed to 2 weeks ago in Cleveland, around 54?
You had that into the wind, huh?
Yeah, well, at least I thought.
No, you thought wrong. That was with the wind. That's
what was the decision to do?
Yeah, just we ended up melting it down to the last part of it, and it was a monster kick, and we took the chance for it. And again, the risk you take when you take that kick is exactly what happened, and everybody's holding their breath, and oh my gosh, this is.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me. Like I said, we were in the south end zone watching that, and I'm sitting there with this face, like I was just so stone faced that I think the entire south end zone was quiet as shit and stone faced with me, that we were just like, don't let this motherfucker score. Like, if this motherfucker scores, I think we're all you were gonna hear the biggest groan from the fan base you ever heard at Soldier Field. But thank God he didn't get into the end zone.
going to happen. They're going to return it. And the guys did a good job of covering it. Your heart's in your chest, your stomach for a bunch of seconds there. But again, that's the risk you take, so we thought we did a good job, in terms of where it was. Again, that's not, I credit Cairo for going out there and hitting a damn good kick, but again, that's hard business, but that time we went for it.
Comfortable with that range, 55, 54?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was, like I said, it's the monster side of it, but yeah.
You're trying to make those game kind of closing plays. I know you guys did enough to get it done, but you go back to plays like Tremaine's interception he could have had, Quan could have had one, Tyler the back of the end zone, penalties on Justin Jones and Lucas. What are the keys to try and make those plays when you're trying to slam the door? Yeah, that's a great point, Herb. I will say that you hit it right on the head there, because those are the critical plays. When you start rising, the buoy starts to rise, and you have to play better teams and good teams as you go, and you want to make a run. All those plays matter, and I'm going to point every one of those out to the guys and understand exactly where we need to be with our mindset, because those plays will hurt you, and they do. They set you behind the sticks. They put you. It's 4th and 2, and all of a sudden now we got a new set of downs. They score on that right there, and when you're playing, into December, into January, that's going to make a difference. And we got to learn from that. And we got to make sure we really look at that, all those plays tomorrow going into next week.
At the very start of the game, they leave the field goal short. The snow's coming down, there's wind. Why was it important for you to go in the air right away to Justin with that deep shot? And what do you think it did in terms of the opening stuff up?
Yeah, just being aggressive. Your opening series, you want to feed your best player, and I think that's important to do. And you want to let the other team know that he's here, and you got to cover him. And so I think it's really good by Luke, and obviously Justin connecting with DJ, and that's always important. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it was good. It's good to see Tyreek. Tyreek got 2 picks. TJ had 1. So it was good, really good by those. Spidey had another one. In the 2 minute there, take all the ones you can get, right? But yeah, he's doing a really good job in terms of his length. Playing with that style that we're talking about, and again the hustle. And the hitting. And the playing the run is also important too. Everybody wants to see the flash and the flare when it comes, rushing the passer. And again, that's what they get paid to do for sure. But we've got to be a complete player, and he's working towards that, and he's getting better every single week to be that.
What do you think has changed for your team from the beginning of the season to the way they play now? Because what we saw today didn't look anything like the first couple of months.
Yeah, I would just say continuity, right? We had a lot of injuries. We had a lot of new guys. We signed all those new free agents. We had a bunch of new rookies that we drafted, and just that continuity piece playing together. And I really just think it's that. I really do, and I really can't point to anything else. But a lot of hard work in between that point and this point now. Of the men in that locker room, the coaches, in that locker room, and everybody working, the performance staff, everybody working together. Through adversity, and through that hardness it took, of losing those games in the early part of the year, and now we really do a good job of making this thing, where it's we're playing some good football. It's not great, it's not where it needs to be, but it's good football, it's solid, and it's winning football, and we just got to keep doing that.
Yeah, Thomas, I agree. I'll say this, right? The celebrating, the cigars, all that. I'm not down with all that shit. Like cigars, especially cigars, sports wise, you're winning a pennant, you're winning a fucking title, you're doing something big, right? Not beating an Atlanta team, to get to 7-9 and you're outside the playoffs. Like that's not what you do. Like, so for me, the celebrating really makes me cringe. I understand the young men that need to, be able to express themselves or what have you, but leave the cigars at home, man. I mean, cigars. It's supposed to be a championship thing. Like when the fat lady sings, like the season ain't even over and you ain't even going to the playoffs. That's just me. I'm all right. I'm gonna get off my couch, or get off my soapbox. But all I'm saying is don't congratulate mediocrity. Lovey was booted after a 10-5 season. Makes me sad to see mediocrity being praised and celebrated. Yeah, I don't think we should celebrate mediocrity this season. Excuse me. I don't think we should celebrate the season as any type of like oh my God, they had a great accomplishment. It was exactly what we were trying. It was an evaluation season. One for Justin Fields, two to see what Eberflus can do as a coach, and I guess three. You were looking for improvement. And I know it's winning is the number one thing, but as a fan base, if you got the wins, if you got to really right here, even you would have been happy from a 3-win team to if we could beat the Green Bay Packers, an 8-win team, that would be an improvement. That would be a huge improvement in my opinion. Now, am I happy that they fucking lost 3 games? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was thinking, part of me felt like they should have, the emotion in me felt like everything should have been fucking done right there and then, like just against Detroit, sell the whole fucking lot. But as you've seen in the past, ever since then, and I understand they lost again to Cleveland, things have gotten better. Montez Sweat has made things a lot easier for the defense. Justin has progressed. You see him making, like he had mentioned, making plays downfield. I just think that it's going to have to fall on somebody, and it won't be Matt Eberflus or Justin Fields. So, odd man out seems to be the offensive coordinator.
Right before the 2-minute warning, you guys called for a play action deep shot. Justin ended up getting hit.
Yeah.
What was the thought process there, up 20 and exposing your
Yeah, I mean, it's they end up calling time up before the 2-minute warning, so it's really a free play. We needed one first down to just kneel it out, and we were just trying to get the first down. So when they called the time up before the 2-minute, that's what we do. And it's a good play, and it wasn't open, at the time, so we just got to do a better job of just throwing it away. But again, we that's smart doing that.
Like I said, Damon, maybe I'm thinking a little old school, but you have a cigar in hand, you're on camera. It's just maybe because cigars are more prominent nowadays and stuff. Maybe that's just the reasoning. But you celebrating, y'all. It's just you had a cigar in hand. I feel like you should have won some type of a title or some type of a meaningful type of game. I mean, it was a big game for the team. Don't get me wrong, but was a cigar worthy? Well, I don't know. It's just me. I'm picky.
Coach, what was your reaction to the report yesterday from Ian Rappaport that you're going to be back as coach of the Bears next season?
Yeah, like I said, many times, my eyes are forward on the corrections of this game, and I really don't pay attention to that. And I'm a football coach, right? So I know there's always going to be noise out there, good or bad. And if you listen to either one of them, guess what? You ain't doing your job. And for me, doing my job is focus on the men in that locker room and the coaches and the development of the Chicago Bears. And that's what I'm going to do.
Coach, how do you feel personally from last season? The defense was good and you had a rough 14 games winning streak. So the point you're at now, your defense is dominant, and they're Super Bowl ready, and it's under your watch. How do you feel personally?
Yeah, it's really, like I said, the credit to the players. The players have put a lot of hard work in there. They've really bought into the system. This system has a lot of history. It goes way back, right? So if you just believe in the system, the coverages have changed over the years. The fronts have pretty much stayed the same, but the men all look the same. They all do. And they're long, they're lean, they're fast, and they know what to do and know how to do it. And that goes all the way back. And we got a lot of Hall of Famers in there, a lot of gold jacket guys. And we can always point to those guys, and the guys are excited to be in the system, and they're buying into it.
You guys got the number one pick in the draft today. Again, I know you're worried about this game and then next week.
Worried? I don't like the word that. That's fine. No. Getting ready, Pat.
What attention do you give to that, if any? It's obviously better than having the second or third pick.
Yeah, I really don't give attention to it right now because I don't think we're picking tomorrow. So I think you know what I mean. So the focus, like I said, if you do your job the right way, is you got to be here right now, get your eyes forward to the next thing, and next thing for me is to go spend some time with my wife and my family tonight. I will look at the tape. At the house, I got it hardwired in, and then we'll move on to the next 5:05 wake up and head off to the office.
Matt, do you have clarity on your future with the Bears? Do you know that you're coming back next season?
Yeah, like I said, I'm focusing on right here, right now. We'll have all those conversations at the end, with everybody. that's involved, and certainly excited to have those conversations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Matt Eberflus post game from the Bears' victory. You know, like I said, it was a good win, man. Like I was happy that obviously obviously you could tell I drank a little bit too much on New Year's Eve because yes, it was New Year's Eve, but you understand, you have to understand where I'm coming from, man. Like the struggle of the season, you want there to be cigars, but you want there to be meaningful cigars, not that the date changed. You know what I'm saying? I want there to be a trophy in the locker room while they're smoking these cigars. It is what it is. Like you guys have kind of scolded me on it. Like Ivan, I'm going to be a little more lenient as I look forward, in the future. But I just want this team to win. I want them to celebrate. I just want them to celebrate where it means the most. You know what I mean? I want them to celebrate big and meaningful football games. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Smoke them if you got them, I guess. Let's go ahead and move on to Justin Fields post game after the win. I like that jacket.
It seems like you were able to find DJ Moore early and often. In fact, it seemed like he was in one-on-one coverage for a good chunk of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What was your reaction to the way the Falcons were covered?
I mean, that's their defense, so we were expecting, some one-on-one matchups, but of course they did leave them one-on-one most of the game, but that's how they've been playing guys all year. Sometimes they would have a safety over the top, but I think we moved them a good bit to where, they couldn't do that with our motions and shifts and stuff like that. So, of course, Line did a great job, and, he did a great job getting open all game. So.
The first touchdown pass to DJ, what do you see there? Obviously, it's just a chance to get in.
Yeah, 3x1 or 1x3, they were in what we call triangle.
I think he's a leader of men. I think he just made the wrong choice in wardrobe attire that game. So, unapologetic truth. Just me.
On that, so make sure the corner outside attaches to the under route, and then boom. DJ ran a corner route, or had good leverage on it, and then at that point, just put it in the corner. Line did a great job getting protected on that one, and great catch, great route by DJ. So. Yeah.
Where you escaped up the back in game 13. Walk us through what you were seeing when you had a blitzer come free at you and then somebody with his hands around your waist.
I don't even know, to be honest with you. It's just straight instincts. Of course, you're going to have to make some of those plays throughout the game. But, yeah, I actually can't tell you what happened. I just was ducked one time. I just try to get a feel on, how guys are tackling me and stuff like that, on which ways I can break out. But, that was a crazy play, so I really can't explain that one to you. Nah, not yet. So I'm gonna look at it.
Is there any instance in a play like that where you are surprised that you're still up or that there's room or anything like that?
Once you kind of get out, I just felt like it was one guy, boom, then another guy was on me, boom, then another guy was on me, boom, and then when I got out the third tackle, looked up, and then I just saw green grass, and just when you're running, just taking a peek at the first down marker and seeing where that is, and just trying to convert the third down on that. So.
A lot of good plays today. I thought the best one was the seam shot down the field to Tyler. I know y'all didn't connect.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through that play particularly?
Yeah. With their outside leverage that they play in their one high, just get the safety moving one way. First read was DJ. Didn't like him, but I saw the safety move at the start of the play towards DJ's side, and Tyler's kind of got that inside release.
Not a fan of the cover.
And didn't connect on it, but Tyler's almost there. He's grown so much throughout the year. I texted him after the Browns game, and it's just great to see how much he's grown as a receiver, as a player. And I know it's tough that we haven't connected because we almost had a touchdown today, but it's coming soon with him. So I'm just gonna tell him to keep working and keep grinding. But that was a almost great play by Tyler. So, yeah.
28 points, that's your goal. Also balance on passing and rushing. It seemed like everything worked that way, no turnovers today. Is this basically the type of game that you're envisioning when you talk about that to us?
Yeah. Like I told y'all earlier this week, 200, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and no sacks. So, of course, we didn't get the sack thing going. But, whenever you play a game and don't turn the ball over, it's always going to help the team. So, our defense did a great job with their takeaways and helped us out a lot on offense. But I think it was a team win and, everybody get their job on, the 3 phases. So we played complimentary football today. So good win.
So what about the long, in the first quarter pass to DJ Moore on the sideline where he catches it over his shoulder?
Yeah.
Kind of blind on that one.
Yeah, that was a crazy catch. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, he told me the same thing. He said he couldn't even see the ball. He was tracking it, and then boom, it just fell in his hands. I mean, that was a
let me just address. I think kilts and dresses are different. There's a difference. All right. I'm not sure if it was a dress or if we call it a blouse. And I hate the fucking fact that we're even talking about this. But I'm pretty sure it was a blouse and not a dress. And a kilt is not a dress. It's a kilt and not a skirt. Anyway, back to Justin.
That was a circus catch right there. But just to have that concentration, and of course, I have that trust in him that he's going to make that catch. So, anytime I see DJ one-on-one, I'm most likely throwing it up. So, like I said, he's a hell of a player and, hell of a teammate. So, glad to have him here for sure.
Just comparatively to 365 days ago, what's the difference in direction and momentum that you feel with this group right now?
Just the camaraderie with the team. Everybody in this locker room loves each other. So I think that's number one. And we all push each other to be our best. No matter if we win or lose, we all look at, what we could have done better. And, we all can talk to each other. There's no guy that can't come talk to me on the team that can come up to me and be like, yo, you need to be better. Or any guy that I can come to that I can go to and just be like, yo, we need you to be better. We need you to be better at this, and that. So, everybody's carries himself with humility, and nobody's bigger than the next person. Really just a love in the locker room. I think that's the biggest thing. And, of course, we've gotten better offense, defense, and special teams throughout the year. So,
well, that's good. So somebody should have been telling, that's part of it, right? So he's telling you his teammates going to hold him accountable. So can us fans. Like I said, if you see something you don't like, if you see something that looks bad, point it out. You can't just look past it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and push back on the Justin isn't a leader. I think he is a leader. Like I said, I think he's just got a shitty wardrobe right now. He kind of needs to figure out what he wants to, wear. I know you want to show out. The youngins want to show out, which is fine, but don't wear a blouse or dress or whatever the hell it was again. That backfired. And two, for me, just continue to grind, right? Continue to keep your head down. Don't go ahead and snap back at media when they ask questions. I know it's frustrating because this year's been such a fucking roller coaster, but just if he continues to stay true to himself, I truly believe he is a leader. Opinions vary, right? Opinions vary, but for me, I think given the response from his teammates, the locker room, DJ Moore, giving his stamp of approval, I think Justin is a leader in that locker room, the leader of the team. Hopefully, we could see consistency on offense, so we're we find ourselves more and more pleased. We're gonna have to obviously wait till Sunday and come next year. But let me go and get into Jake's question. If I told you before the season started that we'd be 8-9 and 3-3 in the division with the number 1 pick, would you have been angry? No. Like I'd mentioned before, 8 wins was my ceiling. I was seeing 3 wins, to be honest with you. I was seeing 3 wins, and then they surprised me. And then, you start expecting more, right? I expected more right out of the gate. You lose to the Packers the way you did. You drop, another 3. The expectations started to pick up. And we mentioned it before, last year. The expectation was, all right, we saw what they were, wasn't shit, clearly tanking. Year 2, there wasn't any of that. You were expecting the Bears to, at best, be 2-2 coming out of that first month, but then dropping 4 straight and looking as bad as they were. We all just lose that. We have such a jaded relationship with this team. We all just, drop immediately. Everything's fucking horrible. And not me included. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. At week after week, I want to feel good by watching my favorite football team, and they just continue to blow it, and you feel like shit. But with the way that they've been progressing, with the way that they've been the last half of the season, you can't help but think, hey man, let's continue to add and see where we go. Right? Am I angry that they dropped 3 games? Fuck yeah, I'm angry. Yeah, I'm upset. But if they continue to progress, you got to give them an opportunity. And that's what they've done on defense. They're making plays. You got young guys making plays on defense. You've got a guy that's disruptive. You're going to have a shit ton of money to spend on free agents. I'd say give them that opportunity. Just there needs to be somebody that has to answer for the faults of this season. And I feel like that's on the offense. That falls on the offense. Let me see, where was this? There we go. Next year's schedule isn't going to be as weak as this year's. Well, I thought this year's schedule was going to be tougher than it was. Sean, like it's all about what, we expected certain teams to be different, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure that there was teams that were expected to be world beaters and didn't make the jump. I mean, me personally, somebody got yelled at upstairs. Sorry. Me personally, I thought that there was going to be a lot tougher of a schedule in the back half, but it ended up turning out that the front half of the season was the toughest part. But we'll see. I mean, the schedule is a schedule. You can only play who's on the calendar, but let's see what those teams do before we get a little bit cautious about who we play and a little worrisome about what the schedule looks like. I just want them to add talent, add more talent. Everybody okay? I think we could declare it was a dress. So, unapologetic truth, 6 wins, Max. That's what you said. It's a great question by Jake. 8-9 looks good. You're upset about how they've lost them, those 3 games. But if you didn't see improvement in the second half, if the defense sucked, if they didn't go after Montez Sweat, if they didn't land Montez Sweat, I think we're in a whole different ballgame. I think we're talking about an entirely different team. And I think we are talking about Eberflus possibly not being around. But it isn't that right now. And the defense has gotten better. And the defense has put the offense in better positions. So they talk about complementary football, man. That's what they're talking about. Defense giving the offense opportunities and the offense capitalizing on those.
Is it fair to say vibes are highest right now than they've ever been over any part of your time as a Chicago Bear?
Most definitely. With the wins going along, and like I said, just the team camaraderie that we have. Everybody just loving on each other and just having that relationship with guys in the locker room. I mean, it just feels like high school or college again when you get those like old memories again. But that's what it feels like. So it's a great feeling, and ready to take on Green Bay last week. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations. We don't often congratulate you when you come up to us and just shoot questions at you. Congratulations. You had an extremely efficient game. 268 in the air, tutty, and all this stuff. The crowd started yelling, "We want Justin."
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does that make you? First of all, did you hear it? Secondly, how does that make you feel, especially after you put together a great game like you did today? Fans, the snow, the whole Chicago atmosphere, fair weather.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel out there?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it. It was great. Ever since the moment I've got here, the fans here have been great. To me, to the team. I was saying somebody in there like last year when we didn't have a good record. I mean, they're still showing up. Late in the season, cheering us on. So Chicago Bears fans, definitely number one in the world. And, just know I love y'all. We love y'all as a team. And, they're always great. So definitely very appreciative of them and, how they just supported our team all year. So.
We talked through the year about how there's uncertainty about where you're going to be next year.
Yeah.
Did you take a moment at all today and look around? Because this could have been your last.
I did, but I always do that. I've just made a big emphasis on living in the present moment, and I definitely did. I will definitely remember this game for the rest of my life. Just the atmosphere, the fans, the chants, the snow. I don't like snow as a quarterback, but looking back on it, it was great. Just the atmosphere, the fans, the game, and playing the hometown team where I'm from, beating them. So it was a good day today.
It's interesting that you start the season with Green Bay and now end the season with Green Bay. How different do you think this team is going into the next Green Bay game than in week one?
To us?
You.
I think we're definitely better than week one. Week one, we had a lot of new players, new guys, but throughout the season, we built chemistry in the locker room, on the field. So I'm excited to see what we can do next field up in Green Bay and hopefully come up with a dub. So.
For the locker room to get a win in the final.
Yeah, I think it was a very important thing for us, and of course, we want to win every game. But this one was just special. New Year's Eve, just like I said, just the atmosphere. It was almost like a movie, to be honest with you. But I came in the locker room after everybody. I just run in there. There's cigar smoke. I'm surprised because we had never had cigar smoke in there, but I'm surprised. And everybody had a good time after the game. But yeah, it was really fun. Sure.
Still some hits on your slides. If the refs aren't going to protect you, if there's something that you have to consider doing differently so you don't expose your head, but
yeah, I didn't think the 1-2 today was too bad. He was trying to take my head up crazy though, but I got down and he ended up hitting his teammate. But when he did kind of commit to the hit, I was already up, so I didn't think the one today was too bad. But we all know that there were some ones early in the season that definitely could have been flagged, but the one today wasn't too bad in my opinion.
Justin, DJ Moore's as a matter of seed, very high expectations come to Chicago. What difference, especially after a game like today, what difference has he made for you this season? Now that we're at this point,
true, he's made my job easier. See him in one-on-one coverage, he's most likely open, and just the way he came in and adjusted to this offense, learned this offense. Never really. I remember him having like maybe 2 mistakes in training camp on plays and stuff like that. So just the way. He's dedicated his time to this team and to learning the playbook and coming in and making plays like he has been great, for us. And, I love him here. He makes my job way easier. So, just hats off to him and, glad that he's my teammate. So, yeah.
Are you a cigar guy?
I am not. I'm not just going to be at home lighting a cigar, but of course I did it in the locker room just to celebrate with the guys. But nah, you won't catch me at home just lighting up a cigar. Maybe one day though.
Was that DJ?
They were just on the table. I know DJ's a cigar guy. One workout we had over the summer, this man pulled up in the truck with a cigar. I'm like, what? And then worked out crazy, bought out, and pulled off with a cigar in his mouth. So, hey, it's DJ. I know DJ's a big cigar guy. So, took a off-season trip to Mexico and brought him back a box of cigars. So, I know DJ was happy to see those cigars in there for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all. Happy New Year.
That was Justin Fields after the game. We'll keep things rolling with the post-game locker room response. That is not where I wanted. Obviously, Justin happy about the win. I'm still going to say that Justin isn't where he needs to be, right? He isn't where he needs to be. But for me to say that he's not progressing, that he hasn't worn, on this team, that he hasn't left his mark on this team and clearly on this city with the chants that were going on at the stadium. Like I said, the vibe there, the exception and the welcoming and just the overall support that the Bears and Justin Fields had on Sunday was awesome. I was sitting there like, man, everybody's they're backing the Bears right now, which is great, which was awesome to see. The fans aren't, aren't too jaded enough to not show credit and not support. That was pretty badass, in my opinion. Good on the fans. But yeah, Justin gaining that support, you could tell he was motivated, man, and not only because the fans were there, but clearly, having people talking about him, talking about what's next for him and his career, there's got to be something that drives you, and I think that has to be a little bit, even if he won't admit it. It has to be driving him just a little bit. Here's DJ Moore to start off the locker room interviews.
Talk about not only your day today, but also the team's overall performance.
Team's overall performance was good. It was New Year's Eve, so we had to get a win. Did a little celebrating afterwards. It was all good.
About what Justin was able to do and how he's been able to perform under these conditions with all sorts of things swirling over his head.
I think he's doing a great job. He had a Houdini play today. Very proud of him for that, and hey, I'm just happy with him.
You were a couple of those throws early.
Oh, it was amazing throws. It was one ball we was talking about. It was kind of like the snow kind of got in my way, so I had to track it and then blind catch it. I was just like, oh, thank goodness, I caught this.
Was that the over the shoulder?
It was on their sideline, so I was like, before that, it was on their sideline. So I was looking. I was like, all right, forget about it. I'm gonna just. Oh, I didn't say forget about it. I said something else. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just trust myself to catch it, and I really did it.
How does your body bend like that? I mean, you're running while bending back.
I don't know. Probably early on when I used to do gymnastics with the cheerleaders back in Philly, so that may play a part into it.
Cole Kmet was saying that he was kind of astonished how often Atlanta left you open. Do you feel that way today?
No. We was kind of setting them up with rub plays, and they happened to be in a specific coverage that allowed us to get the rub and be wide open.
DJ, one game left, but how about your first year here in Chicago? How would you describe the experience playing in this market and being as successful as you have?
It's been great, Got to meet y'all right off the bat, so that was great. And then just having this up and down year, and then having on the second half of the year, just been all great. So I'm glad to be here and look to stay here.
DJ, can you walk us through the touchdown?
Yeah. So 5 years in Carolina, and then to come here with year one and surpass that is amazing.
Can you walk us through the touchdown?
It was just late hands. I knew Jesse was going to try to undercut it, and when I seen it in the air, it was just like, please don't put your hands up. Please don't put your hands up. And then I just put my hands up late, and we practiced that. I practiced that a lot against our defense, and they be mad about it, and I know he was mad about it.
Crossing routes. You a lot of two-man. You have to trail you.
A lot of crossing routes. When you get man coverage, you want to run away. So that played a part into it.
What kind of statement were you making with pregame with the no hoodie and just it looked like you were prepared for the cold, really wanted to.
It really wasn't nothing behind it. I did it a few times when I played in Green Bay, and I did it in Carolina some when it was real cold. But I really don't be trying to make a statement. I just go out there and just be having fun with everything I do.
But is there a mental toughness that you need? You feel like a player like you needs to be successful in these kind of conditions?
No, not just go out there and play the game. We got jackets on the sideline, heaters on the sideline, so I know I was going to be warm. So at the end of the day, I was just like, I really don't care.
You mentioned the Houdini act that Justin Fields that I assume you talked about where he loses the sack and then runs down the field. Are you surprised by it anymore? Because he's done that. It feels like a handful of times.
Yeah, because you never know what he's going to do. And that one was like a real extended play. So for him to even break that first tackle and just start zooming to get the first down was amazing.
DJ, to close the year with 5 straight wins at home, what's the significance for the team?
You always want to win at home. Home games is must win, in the division. Even when we don't play division opponents in home, it means something. You always want to protect this house.
What do you think about you getting the number 1 overall pick team?
Shit. I feel like the number 1 overall pick when they traded for me, so I was like, shit, cool. But thanks to Carolina, so that's all I can say to that.
DJ, how much would you vouch for Justin Fields this season to keep the chemistry together?
I said it before. I'm going to keep saying it. What makes him not the quarterback? Today, the Houdini act should have just put the nail in. He's not running back, but he's him. So I mean, he's gonna be the quarterback. I want him to be the quarterback. I said what I said. Now it's on the higher up, so it's up there. It's up to them.
Did you hear those chants that we want Justin?
I did hear those chants, and I know they box is right there, so I know they heard that stuff too. So
you're watching tape on Marvin Harrison Jr. though?
I grew up with Marvin Harrison. We ran on the same track team, so I mean, whatever we do, we get him. It'll be all love. If we go a different route, I mean, what can I do about it?
Are there any extra emotions about you were part of that trade? Carolina's your former team. It's not like you're rooting for them but they set this up. That you guys got the number 1 pick.
Rooting for what you mean? Rooting?
I mean, you were rooting for Carolina.
I mean,
it's an interesting spot for you to be in.
I mean, it's no bad blood to them. Like I said, I felt like a number 1 overall pick. So even though I went 24th in the draft, but to come here, it felt like a number 1 overall pick.
But do you have a greater appreciation for kind of the good fortune that it seems like it's turned out for you to be?
This whole ass conversation in the back. Matter of fact, call that motherfucker, man. Oh my God, this is the best.
I mean, yeah, it's a good fortune, I mean, it's got more wins than them, so at the end of the day, it was better in my favor.
But you feel good about the direction where you're heading here, where this organization is, this team is,
yeah,
where you're finishing here.
Yeah, very comfortable because of the guys around me. The guys around me have been pushing me since I got here. I pretty much got thrown in the fire, and all them guys been doing is just, using their fire extinguisher to try to put it out and just give me the confidence that I need.
Tyreek, you probably saw the news today also that your coach is likely to come back. Any thoughts, from the locker room on that?
Oh, it's game day, so we pretty much didn't pay attention to it. We just want to go out here, get a dub for the New Year's and for the fans. So, very happy about that information, but, I'm just happy to go out here with these guys and get a dub.
Tyreek, what does it mean to finish the year? You guys started 0-3 at home and then rip off 5 straight to finish the year. So
it feels good. Just to know that, like you said, we started off 0-3, just to have all the doubters and the haters just, constantly talk about this team and just to watch this team, bond together, grow up together, and just be able to go out here and finish 5 straight, like you said. I'm just happy and proud of this team.
Tyreek, was your first interception extra gratifying because it comes after the offense was not able to convert on that 4th down?
Any interception is happy. As long as I can help this team in any way, shape, or form, any interception is good. But just happy to grab that first one after, just to get an offense that spark that they always need.
The magician. You are a magician. That is my exact words to him, bro. You are a magician, bro. Like, that's your new name. It's the magician. Crazy. It's huge. It's huge. Just continue to build that momentum, man. We just praying right now that we get in that things fall in our favor, man. We going to the playoffs playing like we're playing now, man. That's going to be scary. So it means a lot for us to just keep rallying around each other, blocking out all the noise and getting these wins.
Panthers lost. Cardinals won.
Bob, I was thinking the same thing.
Nah, you don't. That's like upstairs stuff. Like, we don't really care about it because we don't, you had that 1 pick, traded down, so we don't even buy into that stuff.
Eddie, how would you describe the way the secondary has played over the last month or so? The interceptions, just piling up.
It's just we doing our thing right now. Like that chemistry is really clicking right now for us. Like everyone's back healthy, everyone's flying around, making plays, and it's just everyone stepped up to the plate. Stepped up to the challenge of being the best version of themselves and going out there making plays and taking the ball away. Like, I mean, Jalen got 4 picks, right? Reeks just got 4 picks. Man, like it's enough room out there for everybody to go out there and eat, and we just continue to ride around each other and motivate each other and make plays.
How'd you see Tyreek and Terrell step up when Jalen went down the 2nd quarter?
Huge, man. They've been doing it all year, so it's nothing that's surprising to us and shouldn't be to anyone else, because I feel like they've been doing it all season. When they get in there, they go in there, make plays. Reek was off to a bumpy start, but that's how it is as a rookie. You're going against top guys. You got to get your feet set and get into the like the motion of the game. And he's doing a great job. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, he's special. You never know what he's going to do in that pocket and being able to make plays and get out of sacks. And, he's special. I shake my head on the sideline watching because I don't know how he does it, but he's special.
You make
Who?
Justin.
I think so, but feel good. Big shout out to the O-line, shout out to God, getting me healthy. Just it's been a long season, but feels good. So
What went especially right today for the running game? Would you say?
just the O-line getting pushed up front. Again, go back to those details. We focus on a lot of different things in practice, and you see them come to fruition during the game. So.
Will, can you talk about how this team's getting better and better, not only record-wise, but also performance-wise?
Yeah, just, guys focusing in, coming ready to work. Coach Flus does a great job of bringing the energy through the week, getting guys fresh. So guys coming in ready to work, ready to get better and try and improve and win. So.
Speaking about your coach, I'm sure you guys saw the news today that he's likely going to be back. Any thoughts from the locker room about your coach coming back?
Oh, I didn't even know that, but, I know guys are excited. I'm excited for that, so happy to hear that. So.
There's some fans chanting, "We want Justin" there at the end. Did you hear that?
Oh, I didn't know what they were saying, but good. Yeah, I heard him saying something, so I'm glad it was that. Yeah.
And then Reed was saying that the cigars were here for you guys in the post-game locker room. The team brought those in.
Oh, I don't know. They just appeared.
I mean, for this team to come where it's at right now, still not a winning record, but to have cigars celebratory, what does that do to cap off this year?
Just the way we're going, trending upwards. Guys bringing the energy every day, celebrating. Win is hard to get in the NFL, so you got to celebrate everyone. And yeah.
I think we're built to play in this type of weather at the end of the year. So, I just think I see it coming together, and I definitely I think you see a real football team coming together for sure.
Well, what was your impression of Robert Tonyan's performance with you nursing your own injury?
Yeah, I mean, no, those guys stepped in; they were great, and Rob, Mercedes, and they did a great job kind of taking some of that load. And I wasn't able to do too much today, but did what I kind of could in the run game, and but those guys came up big and they were moving guys around, making catches when they needed to, and so that was really good to see.
Well, from your perspective, maybe on the sideline, what was working well for the offense today?
I just thought it was a good blend of pass and run and stuff off of our run stuff, and for some reason they leave DJ more open, way more than they should. DJ's making plays, and Justin made some really great throws that you saw near the sideline and in the back of the end zone there. I thought that was awesome, and so just really good football play, I thought, overall.
Well, we asked about DJ a lot, but as you get to this point, you see him keep doing more and more stuff.
Yeah.
How do you describe just what he brings to it?
Yeah, I mean, he's really unbelievable, and he's a guy that when he's covered, he's really not covered. And I thought the touchdown pass was awesome in terms of the late hands that you saw, and the over-the-shoulder grab on the sideline. Another example of that where the guy's kind of on him, but Justin makes a great throw and he makes a great adjustment to the ball, and obviously he opens up a lot for us offensively. So,
What do you say about the win?
What does it mean for you to finish 5 straight?
yeah, I think that's big. 5, that's a lot. I mean, that's pretty good. I think that's a big deal. I think that shows the trajectory as to where the team's going, and like I was saying earlier, I just think we got a real football team coming together, and I think that's shown itself over the last month and a half.
So you heard that from the locker room. Guys are very excited. Guys seem to be of the thought that they are trending upward, that the process is, progressing, as they're moving forward. I like to hear the positive feedback from the locker room continuously. Like I said, I'm here to go ahead and point out what I see as far as, hey, man, this doesn't look good. I don't like how this is going. They need to be, as a team, I understand where their focus is, focus on each game, focus on each other, focus on themselves, but they also could be real with themselves. And I like what Justin had mentioned before, that guys kind of hold people accountable. I would love to know to what extent that is. But nonetheless, it seems like these guys are believing in what's happening right now. That they believe that it with, and me as well, with a little more help, right? Another year under their belts, more help as far as players are concerned, and throughout free agency, throughout the draft, that this thing could really start to turn for the better. And for me, I think I really believe in the roster. If this defense could take another step, add another playmaker on the back end, safety in particular, And I'm just thinking Eddie's a guy that's probably going to be gone. I mean, I would imagine them trying to make an upgrade. You can find somebody on the back end or draft somebody to that can replace Eddie either in the future or right here, right now. I really think this team could take a step. You add help at the center position on offense. You continue to draft playmakers at wide receiver. Help get DJ Moore some help. And let's see what we could do. You know, the one guy that's been kind of a disappointment, Tyler Scott. He's been given opportunities. You know, it's not as if he hasn't been, a guy that's been shunned to the bench and hasn't been, on the football field. No, he's been given opportunities, and he just hasn't been able to secure the big catch. There was a play that Justin made. I thought it was fantastic. He hung in the pocket. He delivered a strike to where only Scott could make it or make the catch, and he couldn't haul it in. And that was so frustrating to me because I'm like, man, dude, he's there. He's beating these guys downfield. It's fucking there. And he's not able to secure it. So, there needs to be a emphasis on gathering more talent at the receiving position. I don't think tight end is out of the question either. With as well as Cole Kmet has been playing this season. Robert Tunyon's a guy that's not going to be, a long-term solution or a good depth piece for however long he's going to be here. Was it 1 year? But maybe look a little bit younger. Find somebody later in the draft that could help out. That could help out in both the run and in the pass. But find more playmakers because you just don't have enough. You got one guy, you got a guy in DJ Moore. Like, don't get me wrong. Let's go ahead and stock up. Let's see how this offense, now that we got the defense, trending in the right direction, let's see what we could do with a full stable on offense. Now, going into the Packers game, man, I'm looking forward to it. I think the Packers are a team in flux. They don't know where they are. They have an opportunity to make the playoffs, but they don't know if they can trust. They obviously can't trust their defense. Like a lot of the fans up there are really calling for the defensive coordinator's head. Jordan Love, he's kind of an enigma in my opinion. Jordan Love has these up and down games similar to, similar to what we were showing about, what's his name? Jesus. Oh my God. The short guy. We just played him. Anyway, either way, he has his ups and downs as well. But to me, you're going in there with all the momentum. You lost the opening game of the season. There's no better opportunity to change things, change opinions than going up to Lambeau and beating the Packers. I hope they beat the living shit out of Green Bay, to be honest with you. I hope they mollywop the fuck out of them. I want it to be 38-7. And I don't even want them scoring 7. I'm reluctant to give them that. But as long as they get the victory, I see Justin not making mistakes. I see this defense continuing to generate turnovers, get to the quarterback, play aggressive. I think this Bears team can go ahead up to Lambeau and upset him. Yes, I believe it was Young. Yeah, he's not like it's not like he's short and it's just his game doesn't really scare the shit out of me. It's like who the hell is he? And even with Bryce Young, I think Bryce Young's given the shit end of the stick because they really didn't have shit in place for him. CJ Stroud just, I feel like, has a better coaching staff, and you had a better offensive line set up for him. Well, I feel like Jordan Love is one of those quarterbacks that just goes up and he's an up and down type of guy. Can you win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love? I think that's a question a lot of Packers fans are asking themselves. I know they can't win a Super Bowl with that defense. So I think the time to strike is now. I think the Packers are right for the taking. I'm going to go ahead and say this. The Bears are going to beat the Packers. Probably my boldest prediction to date. Bears win 32-20. 32-20. They finally get over the hump against Green Bay, and God knows how many tries. I know Eberflus right now is 0 for 3 and have been outscored 93-49. Well, with how things have been going, with how the Packers have been struggling, with how the Bears have been trending upward, I think it's the perfect time for the Bears to beat the Packers in a statement victory at Lambeau Field. We've reached the end, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know there's been a lot of heated debates out here. A lot of heated debates. I enjoy the back and forth. You know, I'm not gonna go ahead and razz anybody or give them fucking shit if they don't like my favorite player. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you have a solid quality opinion on or you know, rebuttal to why or why not of anything really. But if it becomes illogical, you know, irrational, or it becomes like, you know, just a pissing contest, that's when I really get pissed off. It just annoys me to hear bad football talk. If you have an opinion, fucking state it. If it's good, awesome. If it's bad, I'm probably going to ignore it. But nonetheless, I want you to go ahead and say what you got to say. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we all just want the Bears to be fucking Super Bowl champions. I wish that, you know, it could happen right away, but maybe this is a situation that needs a little more seasoning, a little bit more maturing. This instant gratification that Bears want, and I honestly, I feel like it's a little deserved and justified. You just got to keep preaching patience right now at this moment. Just keep preaching patience. Everybody wants to do something desperate. I just want the Bears to win. Let's see what this team can do with more talent. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Love having you here. Hopefully I could get another show in this week. We'll see what happens with the pregame. I may or may not be busy. If you see the show pop up, the preview pop up, you'll know that I'll be on. But if not, it's been a good week. I appreciate all you guys. Loved having you on the show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. All right, fellas, ladies, whoever's out there, love having you. Peace.